Okay.
So what this is about today is a meet and greet. We're going to go around and kind of introduce ourselves. So at least you'll know the faces. You'll know people from the head up. Okay. And then you'll just be real surprised what their bodies look like. That'll be, oh, wow, I didn't know that. You know, so I know, hopefully both of you know Catherine and my faces. Okay. So what we'll do, let me see if I can get Catherine. How many are in? Let me now.
I've kind of lost track. Why don't I kind of, you want me to,
Because I can't see everybody. And
well, I can, let me, okay. Beth Kerwin, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Beth Kerwin, and my husband Michael and I are going on the trip, and we are really, really looking forward to it.
Great. Martha Davis.
Hi, I'm Martha.
And I'm wearing my scarf. They're available in the bookstore.
wave your
Oh yeah, we're
hand.
going to have our infomercial later. Yes.
Yeah, oh, okay. Sorry, I jumped the gun.
That's perfect then. Okay, Martha Davis.
Hi, I'm Martha Davis. And Mary Coleman and I will be going on the trip, and we're real excited. Andrew Wyeth is one of my favorite artists.
Oh,
Really look.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I'll have to get a new scarf.
yeah.
So
You're
have
gonna
them.
love this. Let me tell you, Martha, love it. It's gonna.
looking forward.
Because we really want to have like a group picture with everyone wearing them.
Yes, get your scarves. Get your scarves.
No
Well,
problem.
I'll just tell you this, Martha. I'm going to hand out the paper bags to all of the Andrew Wyeth lovers, and we'll breathe in them, okay, before we after, because it's kind of that powerful. Okay, next up.
Okay, Beth and Chris.
Hi, I'm Beth,
And I'm Chris.
and we are excited, and I'm excited Chris is going on the tour this year. And I enjoyed the tour so much last year. Chris said, "You can't go by yourself. I want to go now that I'm retired." And he's looking forward to meeting Mac. And of course, he knows Michael. And I can't remember. There's a couple other guys, I think, going on the tour as
There
well.
are 3 more.
Yes, and Grady. I've told him all about Grady. So we just can't wait. And
Sandy, bring 2 bags for me because I'm very.
I will, Chris. I will.
And,
I will.
and the,
'Cause it's
No,
like
I'm very, I feel very special to come on this trip after hearing about the trip last year, and looking forward to it.
oh, good.
and the Levitts are friends of the Kerwins.
Oh,
And
great.
will be friends of all of us.
yeah,
They are our
Sounds good.
travel buddies. So
Right.
we've had lots of adventures together, and we're going to have more next week.
And so I know Beth Levitt, you're gonna want your scarf.
I know. I kind of missed this infomercial, so I'm anxious to hear
Well,
about
you
that.
you can even buy it online. If you
Wait
They
want.
are
minute.
wonderful. They are big, and Beth did such a good job. They are
And Sandy's got the same one, and there's Grady.
Yeah, I have mine. It's in my suitcase.
Grady,
It's packed.
I can't see Grady. This is Chris. Grady, this is Chris.
okay.
That's it. Hi.
Thank you for putting your head in the picture, Grady. I feel better. It was
Okay,
a little overwhelming. I have to admit it first.
all right, Joanne Trudenick.
Okay. Hey, Grady, get in and say something.
Where did Joanne go?
I already said hi. I'm Grady. I'll be going to.
I think Joanne dropped off.
Well, I think she was going to have
Okay.
Grady say something first, and then you can go to me.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Let's see. I'm just going down the list. Bonnie Hardman, now you're showing up under Beth Levitt. So Bonnie Hardman, introduce yourself, please.
Really, that's me. It's my first art trip, so looking forward to it.
And Bonnie is a bookstore volunteer extraordinaire, in addition to all the other great things she does at the cathedral. Yay. All right. Janet, J for Janet. Janet Allen.
Is my
We can't
picture not?
see you. Can you start your video, please?
Oh, let's see.
Hold up, to start my video.
There
Oh,
you go.
There we go.
oh, I didn't realize it just started. Huh.
Okay, Janet. We're
Oh,
going around and introducing ourselves.
Okay, sorry, I was a few minutes late. I'm
That's okay.
Janet Allen. I'm new to the cathedral. I do paint in oils. I'm a beginner, so I'm still learning. but I'm really looking forward to this because my teacher talks about all of the wonderful galleries in Philadelphia all the time. And so I'm looking forward to getting to know more people at the cathedral and spending some wonderful time studying where my passion is.
Right. And Janet also is a bookstore volunteer, and also I think we've sold most of them, but made these beautiful handmade journals that we've been selling in the bookstore. This was her COVID project.
Yeah.
And so I think we have a couple of them left.
Yeah, we need some more, Janet.
Yeah, I
beautiful.
actually have many in varying degrees of being finished. So
Right.
I hope to have time to do that soon.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you.
And
Okay.
I've sold 2 more that I'll run through the bookstore for a friend of mine who has family here that you all
Great.
know. So yeah.
Great. Thank you. Angela Bruton.
Hi. I'm actually a part of the Art at Noon that's been visiting for maybe like 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
And Sandy just does such a great job. We thought, oh, we have to. My roommate, I don't see her on here, but Lisa and we were talking, and we thought, oh, we just love the way that Sandy breaks everything down for us, and it's like we've got to really go on that trip and figure it out. So we were able to figure out how to do it, and
Yay. And Angela also is a bookstore volunteer. Yay. Okay. Joanne Tredenick.
Hello, I'm Joanne, and I'm a member at the Cathedral. I grew up in the Philadelphia area, so of course I'm familiar with Wyeth and the Wyeth family and the places we're going to go, many of them, but I'm really looking forward to seeing them at this stage of my life, because it'll be different than seeing them 30 years ago. And yeah, so I just am really excited about this, and I'm going to stay an extra day and visit close friends I have up there too. So and looking forward to getting to know, this is a really nice way to get to know everybody on the screen better. So I'm looking forward to that too.
Great. We're so glad you're going.
Me too.
Yay.
I know you.
Julie Oakley Jagger, you're up.
Hi, I'm Julie Oakley Jagger, and yes, I wouldn't miss this for the world. Bonnie, or not Bonnie, Sandy puts on the best show ever. I mean, these are fantastic. I went on the DC trip, and I wasn't going to miss this for nothing. So I'm very excited.
And Julie, you probably already know, those of you who come to the bookstore, Julie is also one of our key volunteers and also on the bookstore committee. Yay, as is Beth Kerwin. I think y'all already knew that, but anyway, so we're very thankful for all of her time. She organizes all of the volunteers and schedules them, which is huge. So we're very grateful. Okay, I think I have gotten everyone. Has everyone introduced his or herself? That we're good. Okay, Sandy.
Okay, we have a couple that are not here. Mac is going.
Yes, he's in North Carolina right now.
Yeah, he's taking care of business local. Patrick and Rob are going, and they have business in Orlando. So we'll be, but they're a fun group. Okay, basically
And there's one more, Carol Whitfield.
Oh yeah, Carol Whitfield is going up as well. Carol, tell her what Carol's doing.
Carol, y'all, is walking the Camino.
Oh, yummy.
Right now. Oh, wow.
So I can't wait to hear about that.
Wow.
Okay, well, I put this y'all know that I am the PowerPoint queen as well as Excel. So I had to put a little PowerPoint together tonight to kind of share with everybody. Grady's over here gritting his teeth and smiling, but that's how my kids kind of make fun of me with the PowerPoint because, for visuals. they've already said that at Christmas I can do no more PowerPoints. Okay, okay. I promise. But anyway, I just want to give an overview of what we're doing, and then we're going to send the itinerary out after this way. But right now, if you've got a paper and pencil, what I need and Catherine need from you tonight, and I mean tonight, because we'll be after tonight, we're going to be after you. We have got to get a good email address for you and a good phone number, because what I will do is I'll put everybody on a group text, and that way we can all stay up and stay together, because we found that it really works. Sometimes like an Uber may be late or a tour may be late or things happen. And this way, if we're on a group text, and that's what we'll use it for, just if there's not to drive everybody crazy. Oh, look at that cat. Isn't it fun? You know, that type of thing. We won't do that because I know that drives people nuts, but we really need that to, oh, and one other person that's not on tonight is Lisa. Lisa's going with us as well. But we're going to use that group text just in case maybe the bus may be late or maybe we get stuck somewhere. I mean, there's all kinds of things that can happen. So that is your homework, to get that to us. Our homework for you is to get the itinerary, and I've done a little magazine for you with the itinerary on it. And then at our on Tuesday night, when we all get together for dinner, hopefully everybody makes it in on time. And if you don't, that's okay, because we'll send it to you. We have a very detailed itinerary. And the reason that we did not send this out sooner than today, because things change, and one thing has changed, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But to set the tone and to let you know what we're all about, we are very much at the bookstore, and I'm going to give you an overview of this, into lifelong learning. We feel, all of us feel that this is, everybody, and the girls today on the art walk have heard it. Everybody's heard me talk about it. But, you know, your brain just doesn't die when you retire. The life goes on. And I just read a fascinating article about octogenarians, which I am one of now. The reading, they've done a study, and they found out that people that are engaged, especially in reading and in the culture, they're making some connections with Alzheimer's and other kinds of things like that. So as long, you know, I guess basically what we're saying, the more good stuff that you put in, the more things you think about and new ideas that you come about, and maybe changing old ideas, you know, just reevaluating, really the better chances you have of maybe thwarting some of the crises that we all face as we grow older. So just to give you an overview of what we're talking about with lifelong learning in the Cathedral is, and this is the only time I'm going to read to you, okay? I promise. Because no matter what stage of life you're in, how much you already know, it's the reality that there's always something new to learn. So if it's a new hobby, a practical skill, or some other form of knowledge, maintaining not only that growth, the mental growth, but also a spiritual growth mindset, and going out of your way to learn new things. Research has proven that it's going to serve you well in life. Okay, let me go on. The Art at Noon Salon at St. John's Cathedral fosters this lifelong learning and spiritual growth in the arts. This is what we've been doing. We provide art programs, art walks, and art discussions. We had a great discussion at the art walk today about the benefits of sitting down and talking about your passion with each other, whatever you're kind of passionate about, and how that it kind of filters in and colors and increases that fabric of your spiritual life as well as your mental life as well. Religion and art, we found, and as you'll see, spring from the same root, and they're close kin. Artists often use their creative energies to share their convictions. We had a beautiful discussion with Hope McMath today about her convictions and how it has shaped her artistic development. This includes their relationship not only to the divine and their thoughts about meaning in this world and beyond. Lifelong learning can be a way to grow spiritually, but deepening your understanding of your faith and your relationship with God. And as we walk and as we look, especially at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, and we see the El Grecos and we see the Titians and all of the other, these people in the Renaissance area who really used art to portray their religion, it hopefully it'll speak to you as well spiritually. Art and culture often contains, as we said, religious themes, and this can help you understand the religious art as well as other art. Salvador Dali was not a Renaissance person, but he was really steeped in religion, and his art proclaims that. And we're also going to, it gives you a religious literacy as well as you kind of view the artwork. It's far more, lifelong learning is just far more than acquiring information. It's a quest for informing the habits of our minds and also the affections of our hearts as well. And as for our Christian, the goal is a richer and deeper joy to the glory of God and the internal good of others, and sharing that joy with one another. So, art, architecture, faith, and liberty. And we're going to be touching on each one of those concepts on this walk. This has been designed to encourage your curiosity, to spark these rich discussions that we can have, and also to formulate, and a lot of you really talked about that when you introduced yourselves, about wanting to get to know each other. And it's so much fun when you can sit down and discuss things with another person that is just as passionate about that or as interested in it as you are with Cathedral members. And also art and talking about art and sharing art in all of its forms, whether it's architecture or whether it's a beautiful garden that's been landscaped beautifully, whether it's a marvelous piece of sculpture or a painting, that having those conversations with each other can really help formulate relationships that are long lasting too, and also encourage our spirituality with our Lord. So, having said that, that's my little what would you call it? As Grady would say, probably my faith. My faith. That's my faith talk. Okay, so you got it in a nutshell. We have been on 2 fantastic art walks. One was in New York, the first one, and one was Washington, D.C. And those 2 art walks we established in a different way. We called them drop in or drop out. What we did was, it was just, we put the itinerary out and we said to everybody that wanted to go, here's the itinerary that we're going to do, and look it over and decide which of these pieces that you'd like to be a part of. And then you tell us, and we will put, because this is where we're going to be. This is where Catherine and I are going to be at this particular moment. And if you want to join us at the Metropolitan Art at 10 o'clock on Wednesday morning, get an Uber and come over. And that's, and you made your own reservations. There was no common hotel. Everybody found wherever they wanted to stay in New York City, as well as Washington, D.C. And we did it that way. And it worked beautifully. It was just great. Everybody had an itinerary. They showed up, and it was just a great, and in New York. So that did work. In Washington, D.C., we did a little bit differently. We did the drop in, the drop out, find your own hotel where you can. Here's where we're staying. If you want to stay, this is a good place to stay, et cetera, et cetera. And, but this one we did, I had a friend who had used tour guides, local tour guides. And she told me, she said, you need to, when you travel, you need to use the tour guides. She says, we've used them all over the world and we love them. So I went online, found a tour guide, and found a great tour guide. And she and I began a year. She worked with me on and off for a year in establishing the DC. And then she on 2 days went with us and was kind of our own, our guide, our daily guide. And it was great because I felt like being in a new city, that I didn't know too. I know a lot about New York City because I've traveled there every year for the last 25 years. But as far as Washington, D.C., I only been there a couple of times. So it was nice to have a local person that knew, maybe some places to go and different avenues to go down as far as traffic, et cetera, to help us. And she was just delightful. And I never will forget, we all were in the cathedral, a lot of us on Easter Sunday, Palm Sunday. And it was, and she had given us this overview the day before of the cathedral and got us into a restaurant that was really good and that was on there. So she was just a wealth of knowledge. So we thought when we started talking about Philadelphia, I said, well, I haven't been to Philadelphia in a long time. So I got in touch with Ellen. Ellen put me in touch with a local tour guide named Judy, which you're going to meet. And Judy is not only a local, lives in the Philadelphia area, but she's also, I believe she's president now of the National Tour Guide Association. So she has a wealth of knowledge really all over the world, and especially in Philadelphia. So Judy, when I got with Judy at the beginning of, I guess this year, and laid out everything that I wanted us to see artistically, then Judy took that and she massaged it and has been helping us kind of pull this thing together and has just been great. This year is different. We got together and we talked and we said, well, why don't we make sure that we have transportation? And we've never done that before. We've Ubered everywhere. Everybody's Ubered. And so we said, since we want to go and see some different places, let's get a bus. And so Catherine, God love her, and y'all should, everybody better give her a bus hug, let me tell you, because this has been one of those situations that it's been boggling to arrange to get our transportation. Plus the fact, we had to up our price a little because we were not real certain about the prices and gas and tours and all this other stuff. So we said, well, if we're going to do that, then let's get tickets for everybody. So we might as well do that. So we said, okay, so we put that into that. And then we said, okay, if we're going to do that, then let's make sure everybody, we know we have a place to eat every night, and get reservations for that so that people don't wander around, looking and, so I've got a place to eat and then I can go do whatever I want to do afterwards. So what we've done this time, and I don't know whether we'll ever do it again, but you all got 2, well, really 3, 2.5 free tour guides without paying any extra. We have arranged every night, we have reservations every night we're there for dinner. We have all of your tickets have been through your thing. We have made sure all of the tickets have been purchased. So all you have to do is go buy your Ardent notebook, your Ardent Noon notebook, your scarf and your bag, and then we're going to stuff it full of stuff for you. And then we're all going to have a prayer meeting every night and every morning, and hopefully that all of this that Catherine and I have put together kind of works. So that gives you an overview. Now let's talk about what we're going to do on each day. Okay, this is your itinerary. This is the big one. I'll start with when you come in. I think everybody, if you've let Catherine know if you're going to be in, what time you're going to be in on the 22nd. We are all, I think everybody's made reservations at Wyndham. We chose Wyndham because Judy said that was kind of in the center and the heart of the historic district. Okay, so hopefully when we do the walking tour and some other things, those of you that walk and want to walk, did you know the want to walk? That's not me. But anyway, those of you that walk and like to walk, I'll put it that way. Then we try to make these two of the restaurants within walking distance. Okay, and close to the hotel. So this is your overview. And let's take it day by day. And by the way, The picture on the left, I believe, it was at the Philadelphia Art Museum, and the one on the right is of the barns. Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Mm.
So that's I believe they're the new section of the barns.
Hmm.
So let me turn this. Okay, let's start with the very first day. On the 22nd, everybody will arrive, and we're going to have dinner at the Plow and Stars. And this is, I hope this is the right one, but it's a pub. And we all felt like that it would just be great, you know. It's Irish, the owner is Irish, and I don't know that the immigrants, all of you that are Irish, have relatives that were Irish immigrant. You know, raise your hands here. We thought this would be just a really good way, and I think it's pretty historic. This is kind of a picture, I hope, at the front of the Wyndham, so that gives you an idea of maybe what the Wyndham looks like if I got the right Wyndham, and I think I did. So we'll have dinner that night. You will get your detailed itinerary because we don't really want to give it out to you just in case. And I mean, by detailed, this is the itinerary, but the times, you know, what time you need to be where, what street you need to be on, et cetera, okay? At the end of all this, I'm going to go through this, and then y'all think about it, and if you've got any questions, then I'll answer your questions, and Catherine will too at the end, okay? All right, so that dinner will be at the Plow and Stars, and that evening we'll all get together and have a great time of, you know, hey, we made it, we're here, et cetera, et cetera. As I said, we've got, and I will tell you, I am the Excel nut, and Catherine and I color code, so it'll be color coded so that you can tell what date. There'll be an address and there'll be a time, you know, and if something changes on that, that's the reason we need your, you know, your cell phones, so that if maybe we're going to meet the bus at a different location or whatever, so somebody in your party has to be text worthy, okay? So hook up with someone that is, so that they can do that. So the Plow and Stars, that's we get together when you come in, and that's at 7. So you need to know the reservations are for the Plow and Stars at 7 o'clock. Okay, we'll send you the address so you know exactly where to go. All right, and there's availability to Uber. If you don't know how to Uber, we'll get with people that do know how to Uber, and you can Uber over there or walk. The next morning, we get up bright and early, and we are headed to Chadds Ford. And Chadds Ford, and this is another thing, we had hoped to be able to tour the gardens, the Longwood Gardens, but there just wasn't we just could not work that in. Hopefully you will, if those of you that are staying over, you might want to do that if you can get out there. And Chadds Ford is so close to Longwood Gardens, it's not even funny. And they say that they have these beautiful fall exhibits there that you might want to take a look at. Then we're going to go to the Sanderson Museum. And this is, we just put this on the itinerary about a week ago. Judy and I had been talking about it, but it was kind of closed. So she made a little trip over there to kind of see how how the roads would go, you know, to take the bus. The Sanderson Museum is a kind of a unique museum, and it has, and you'll be getting, I'm sending you a magazine, okay? And I have 5 fun facts for every place you're going. I didn't want to just drive you crazy with information, but I thought, oh, well, this would be good. Just look at these 5 facts for each location, and that would give you a little bit of an idea of what you're doing. Okay, so one of the Sanderson Museum that is really related to the Wythe family, particularly Andrew Wythe's wife, was very much into her community, more so than he painted all the time, but she really was, she restored homes. She was a big beneficiary. And one of the things was this little museum, and she and the family supported this museum. And it's just a real eclectic thing. You know, they've got some of their things, but it has a strip of cloth from Lincoln's casket in it. It had, you know, things that the Sanderson collected. It claims nearly 80 letters from Civil War veterans. It has autographs of famous people. Is it one of those museums that you would pay, you know, of $50 to 10, no. But it just sets the tone for what we're doing. And also there is a wonderful, very close, which we're going to run in and have a delicious, the bakery shop that has all kinds of goodies around there, Judy said, for us to munch on. Then after we do that, we're headed over to the Brandywine. And the Brandywine Museum is Andrew Wyeth's, that was another, it's not only just a museum, it's a conservatory as well. So if you're really interested in ecology, environmental issues and everything, this museum has a two-track, it's a two-track museum. One is as a conservatory environmental, the other is to showcase Andrew Wyeth and other artists or, in the area, local. Betsy, Andrew Wyeth's wife, was instrumental after he died in really promoting this. And it is lovely. It's an old grist mill. One of the reasons that I wanted badly to go to Chad's Ford, because when Grady and I were there, probably about 7 years ago, 8 years, right? Yeah, when we was here at Soda Springs, we went there and we one of the docents, I said, this is just a beautiful place. She says, you need to see it in the autumn because the setting and everything, she says, it's just gorgeous. So one of the things that I asked every single tour person when we were getting your tickets was that, okay, are we going to see, this is the reason we're coming. Are we going to see fall? And most of them assured me we would. But anyway, the location is absolutely, it's by the Brandywine River. There's a little stream. It's an old grist mill. If you look at it online, it's just absolutely, well, you can see it's down here in the corner. This is one of the entrances to it. It's brick, and it just really fits the location of Chad's Ford. The other thing that we will get in, they have a little trolley or a little train. I don't know how they're going to transport us, but also, and I believe the Wyeths donated this, Betsy and Jamie did. We will tour Andrew Wyeth's studio, and it's really just almost like he left it. And it's just, it's magical. For those of us that love, his work, it's just magical. But now his father was a really robust individual, to say the least. And if you watched any of the videos about the Wyeths, and he was very creative. And he was an illustrator, very famous illustrator. Andrew Wyeth, as I told you, was homeschooled. Never went to school, and it was basically his father brought in tutors. So we will be also going to really Andrew Wyeth's home as well. We will be seeing it, Nathaniel Wyeth's studio. It's a long tour because we'll get there probably around lunchtime, and then it runs till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because we'll see the museum, we'll see the Andrew Wyeth studio, and we'll also see NC Wyeth studio as well. And then we have this great a little adventure to we have reservations, dinner reservations for the Black, is it Powder? I said Powder. Is it Powder? Powder. Powder Tavern. And all around Pennsylvania, George Washington slept in a lot of places and ate in a lot of places. But I think this is one of the places he was supposed to have lots of Revolutionary War information, the Battle of Brandywine. And so I'm sure he crossed paths somewhere in that locale. So that is in Wayne, Pennsylvania, and it's probably about 30 minutes, I would imagine, from the Brandywine Museum. Okay. Then the next day, we get home. The next day is the Philadelphia Museum of Art. And we kind of learned that with these huge museums, that if you just are turned loose, you have what we artists in residence and people like to call it's called
museum burnout.
Museum, absolutely, museum burnout. My Brady calls it Home Depot burnout or Lowe's burnout. When you get in with all of the tools and everything, and all of a sudden you think, okay, I can't find that screwdriver, and I've got to get out of here. I'm having an attack. So what we have done for art museums, for all of them that we could everywhere, is to do the tours. Because then that kind of focuses you and we do have a little time that you can kind of, you know, squirrel around and look at things, but you just get more out of it if you have a tour guide that is talking to you about art and talking to you about what's going on. If you are, we purchased the tickets for a docent that is and the Philadelphia Art Museum is really strict. Last year at the Washington National Gallery, right? Okay, we were able to get our own tour guide, and I researched carefully and got a professor who was an actor and he's all kinds of stuff that did the tour for us in the art gallery tour, and he was absolutely wonderful. And I wanted to do that again, somebody with a lot of art background, but they just frowned on anybody but their own docents coming in. So we selected the tickets and we will all meet there. And that is one place that you will all Uber to, okay? The Brandywine Museum, we have a bus that will pick us up at and deliver us and take us to eat when we go to the Brandywine and Chad's Ford. The next morning, and it's all on your schedule. The next morning you'll have to Uber, and we put exactly where to tell the Uber driver to take you to the Philadelphia for that tour. This is lunch on your own, and we're going to go to the Reading Terminal Market. And this is right here for lunch. This is a huge market. It opened in 1893. In the early days, the market offered free delivery to town customers, and the boys who delivered all of these were called market brats. The market basement had a state-of-the-art cold storage area. It has a mascot called Filbert the pig. You'll see, and there's a big statue of him out there. Anything you want to eat from Philadelphia, it's a huge food mart. And you might want to pull that up because there are maps online. And if I were you, that's what I would do to decide, what you kind of wanted to eat that day. So you would save a lot of time. Then you could kind of wander because they have lots of local things to sell, Amish things, art, I think some crafting type of things. Those of you that have been to New York City and have been to that huge food court, which is under the HTV, I think, not HTV, the Food Network channel, they have like a 10-story building there, and then they have a huge food court underneath that. It's kind of similar to that. After that, then, and this is what, oh gosh, I'm so looking forward to this one. After that, they'll pick us up at the Reading Market. Then we're going to do a tour of two churches. One is the Christ Church, and one is St. Peter's Church. And for Episcopalians, it's very dear to our hearts. So this is the part of the art, faith, liberty, and architecture trip. The St. Peter's Christ Church was the first parish church of England and Pennsylvania. It was founded 1695 was when this church was founded. It's an example of a Georgian architecture. And I love this, the steeple that you're looking at, I hope this is the right church, okay? But anyway, the steeple on Christ Church was financed by a lottery that was organized by Benjamin Franklin. So talk about stepping into history. Oh my gosh, will we ever be doing that? A lot of prominent people worship there. Betsy Ross, 15 signers of the Declaration of Independence, and the burial ground, which is everybody goes to pay homage to Ben Franklin, and two of his family members are buried in the buried ground. Then we're going from there, and our docent will be, I think Kay is the church secretary, I believe, and she will be guiding us, and she is just delightful. Y'all will love her. The next one we will go to is St. Peter's Church, which I hope this is the interior, like I'm saying. And St. Peter's Church was founded in 1758 by members of Christ Church. And the church was designed by a Scottish architect who also designed Carpenter's Hall and the Tower of Christchurch. The bell tower were designed by a renowned Philadelphia architect, and the bells are rung by one person using ropes attached to the clapper for each bell. This is a beautiful, and inside, this is the inside, and it has those gorgeous boxed pews with the high-backed pews. And the reason they were high-backed is they were designed to retain the heat in the wintertime. Our next place in this is our tour guide, who is also a premier docent at the Powell House. And this is the architecture part of our tour as well. It's a well-preserved example of Georgian architecture, and it's one of the finest in the United States. The Powells were very prominent people in Philadelphia. They hosted visitors, including George and Martha Washington. Elizabeth Powell was renowned for her hostessing, and Samuel Powell was the last mayor of Philadelphia under British rule and the first mayor under American. So lots of good old history there. Then we're going to go to have Italian dinner at in the evening. And so you bet, how do you say that, Brady?
Familia.
La Familia Ristorante. And it is owned by an Italian. And let me tell you, he's a hoot. I don't know if he'll be there or not, but he's a real hoot. So that now is Thursday. And everybody said, oh my God, right? You're breathing. We will be at Reading Market. We will pick up, no, at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, we will pick up our tour bus. And our bus then will take us for the rest of the day. Okay.
Right.
So all of these stops. So you're not going to be, you know, we'll be on the bus traveling the route on the bus. Okay. Then the 25th, the Rodin. It's a small, and it's a small museum. Some of you Philadelphia gals, you might want to chime in after my little presentation here, but it's a small museum, but it's just chock full of great Rodin statues. I did a Zoom on Rodin, and you might want to take a look at some of, there's a great, you might not want to listen to my whole spiel, but in that is a YouTube video that I brought in, and and evidently we were okay because they let us keep it up on YouTube. So you might want to skip over and do that and just look at that YouTube video. It's real short, but it's a really good overall introduction if you want it for the Rodin. Then we're off to Rittenhouse Square. And for those of you that have been saying, well, where's the retail therapy? Here we'll do it. Okay. The bar. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the bar. Oh my God, I missed the Barnes. I can't wait. I have heard so much about the Barnes. And the Barnes, Dr. Barnes was a philanthropist, multi-billionaire, and he has the finest collection this side of the Atlantic Ocean of Impressionistic art. I mean, the Renoirs, he has more Renoirs. I think there are 100, and I may have put that in this, maybe I did. I think there's over 160 or 150 Renoirs in his collection. But what is there, Isabella Gardner? Was that right, Grady? Yeah. Okay, Isabella, some of you may have been to the Gardner Museum in Boston. Gardner Museum in Boston. They both had their own ideas about how art should be exhibited. And it was not because they were putting it in houses. Gardner was in a house, and Barnes was too. So he arranged this, and in each room, he arranged in ways that he felt like the art kind of talked, I don't want to say talked to each other, but that's really was, because not only would he have pieces of art, but he also collected African pieces, lots of African pieces, hardware. So in his exhibit, you're going to see pictures of art, and you maybe see hardware underneath it. Everything in his mind was related. We will have a tour there because I think it's really special. But as a thought, he left this. This is a real example, and we have a lawyer friend that we've talked about this one. He left everything in a trust, and nothing like Gardner could be moved. Everything had to stay there, and even the house. Well, the house was kind of crumbling and falling, and so they were able to break the trust and build this. I'm gonna point to it. I don't know whether you can see it or not. This is the new place. However, his wife was a horticulturist. This is something that I don't know whether they'll, and I want you to get this because she was not, and she was known, all over the United States. She brought in different kinds of plants and had this marvelous garden. And I think they still have kept that. So it'll be real interesting to see if that, we're not going to have time to do that. But those of you that maybe are staying over, you might want to go back and walk through that, her garden, because the plants, she shared plants all over the world. In fact, she gave lectures about her garden. She just like in the Biltmore, the heiress that the woman that inherited the Biltmore was the same way with her gardening and everything in Olmsted. So lots of correlations here. The Barnes is it has Renoir, Cezanne, Matisse, Picasso, Van Goghs, and Modigliani's. And he groups all of these objects. They're arranged in ensembles, which I know that the tour guide will talk about. After that, now everybody read just a minute. That's a lot in the morning. The Barnes and the Rodin are real close to each other, so we'll walk across the street. We'll Uber over to the Rodin, walk to the Barnes, and then our bus is picking us up at the Barnes, and we head to the Rittenhouse Square. And Rittenhouse Square was is that right?
Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse. Sorry, Rittenhouse. Excuse me, Rittenhouse. Y'all have to excuse it. My tongue gets stuck. And Grady will explain me. Okay. He is the explainer. So no, she doesn't mean that. She means this. Okay. This was renamed to honor a clockmaker, astronomer, and a friend of the American Revolution in the 1825. It was one of the 5 original squares in Philadelphia, and its current layout was designed by a French architect, and it features artworks. That's one of the reasons we're going as well there. Not only because it is got lots of little shops and stores and lunch places, but it has a serpent sculpture, a duck girl, which is very well known all over the United States for sculptures, and Billy the Bronze Goat. So we kind of look out for those as you're kind of touring the area. It's surrounded by lots of cafes and little shops, and so we've got time to kind of swirl around and look. Then our next stop after that is the Rosenbach. I got it right. And I'm so being a librarian. Okay, and I'm sorry, y'all you have to go along with me because every tour we go on, we hit a library generally. In New York City, we got to the Morgan Library. The Frick had a great library that some of you got to see as well. But this is the Rosenbach, and the Rosenbach, it's a museum, but and a lot of people don't, even that live in Philadelphia, don't know about this, which just tickles me because it's such an unusual, great little piece. This was founded by 2 brothers who were bibliophiles, and they really sold books. I don't know whether they did so much for the Morgan Library, but I do know that they were kind of instrumental. Those of you that have been on the West Coast and out in the Huntington Library, they were instrumental in procuring things for the Huntingtons. And this house, and it's on a street. This house, and I think they put two of them. The brothers live together or close together. And I wanted us to do that because it's also on one of those around the squares, and it's going to kind of give us that feel that we're in town, when the housing part of Philadelphia, just not the I don't want to say urban, not really, but anyway, I would just say it's kind of the suburbs. It's going to give us that feeling. Anyway, they have more than 130,000 manuscripts and 30,000 rare books. And they were dealers in fine arts and antiques. They have the only, okay, now I know this might not, but I hope that everybody goes, after I say this, you go, ooh, because that would just make me feel so good. They have the only surviving copy of Benjamin Franklin's Poor Richard's Almanac. Ooh, wow. Ooh, okay. Thank you. Okay. They have the first, they were Jewish. They have the first Hebrew printed books in the world. And they have the earliest letter from George Washington that we have in the country. So that's, and you just need to be, you need to take that in. I think everybody needs to. This is our heritage. It's housed in an 1860s historic mansion that was once their home. And it is located among 19th century townhomes that form the Rittenhouse. So that's going to give us kind of a really kind of good feel for what people saw and where people were in that particular area. And then last, and I don't know, this is, we just had to throw this in. Some of you may say, I don't know about this one, but we are going to tour the Magic Gardens. And this is one of the sites that people saved in Philadelphia. And it's one of the most visited sites, and believe it or not, in Philadelphia. The Magic Garden was created by a mosaic artist. Now, this is it down here. And it's not a really good picture of it, but don't think plants, okay? when you think this. Don't think plants. It's his interpretation. It's the largest work of his career. And all of these mosaics are made from a variety of materials. He's made them from bicycle wheels, from kitchen tiles, from china plates, and also their Latin American arts included there. He began making these arts, and we've been kind of looking at things that contemporary, say, impressionistic, Renaissance and everything. Now we're kind of flowing into some really, I guess you would say not post-contemporary, but post-Kandinsky and this type of thing. Jackson Pollock, he was, and he made these in the 60s as a form of something to help him through a mental health crisis, which I'm sure we'll find. This is a self-guided tour. So, we've got it. We have a specific time we have to be in there. And because it is so loved. And, and they only open it. In fact, I couldn't even get tickets for us until they opened up. I had to wait, and I just was worried to death it would get any. And I had to wait until October before they only open them up like a month or a month and a half in advance. And then you have to scoot in and get them. This has been purchased and maintained by a nonprofit organization. Then we're going to have dinner at one of the nice restaurant, PJ Clark's, at the Curtis. So, and I'm looking forward to that. That's supposed to be a lovely restaurant. Then on Saturday morning, those of you that are still with us, our dear tour guide is going to have meet us at the Wyndham, and we're going to have a walking tour of just the historic sites. So those of you that maybe be staying over or are going to coming back, this is going to give you a really good idea of where they are, maybe what you want to see, what you don't. I know I've asked that we go down the Betsy Ross Street, where the cobblestone one, and I think Judy says that we can do that. From there, Then we go over to, and this was, we won't be there at night, but I want y'all to see this at night. This is a ship that's called the Mashula, and it is an old ship, right? Is that how it's- Mashula. And it is in the harbor there, and it has been made into a restaurant. And I thought, oh my gosh, what a great way to end our trip. Then, you know, in that Boston harbor, not Boston, but the Philadelphia, but I'm sure somebody threw tea in that harbor too. Okay, so we can think that. You will get all of this. Okay, this is coming to you. Catherine's going to send it to you either tonight or in the morning, and so it'll be in your email. All of this with the 5 fun facts of everything, so you can kind of get an idea of kind of what I've been over. I will say that this was brought to you by the St. John's Cathedral Bookstore and Gift Shop. The way that you can help us continue to do these things is just by, you know, being patrons of the bookstore and also of the activities that we do. The art walks, the art programming, the church has all kinds of wonderful art programs and activities. We are, and Catherine can tell you, all of the money that you spend in this store is for a cause. You shop for a cause, literally every time, every penny, because you're either helping the producer of the and it usually, and we do it with local. We try to use local and people as well as people from other countries, women that are trying to, you know, make their lives better, and then we take that money and we use it for our mission. So we're a group of volunteers that have a goal in life that you know, people give people quality stuff to purchase, and then take the money that we generate. And this year, what has excited me so much with that we've been able to do is we have a cathedral preschool that's across the street from us. And we were able to, through the generosity of everybody helping us, as you well know, those of you that are grandparents or work with children or know how the dynamics of our society is now, when all of us or most of us were younger, the communities that we lived in, probably most of the children that we were involved in attended church or had been to church or Sunday school or in some way, or parents, grandparents. Today's age is just not that way. I mean, we are living in an era where children are just not as exposed to that as we were. So what we have done is take some of our money and every child, when they have a birthday, gets a rhyme and Bible reader, because rhymers are readers, according to Mother Goose, and she pops up from the bookstore occasionally and has a rhymers or readers program, and also to build their libraries. The other thing that we were able to do with our money is to work, and Catherine can kind of tell you about that mission as well. So we have we have a good time. We enjoy each other, but we also know that we're there for the common good of everyone. So having said this is what your trip looks like. It is structured, because we, you know, it's an art walk, and that's what we're going for, and it's a lifelong learning, and you're going to kind of stuff your brain a little bit. And then when we sit, and I will ask everybody every night, you know, when we sit around the tables and we kind of visit, you know, what did you experience today? What art did you see? What did you hear? What did you sense? What did you feel that kind of touched you or resonated with you or was an aha moment? So having said that, Catherine, I'll turn the thing back to you, and we'll open it up for any questions that anybody has.
Okay. But
Okay, so let
before
me
we
do.
open it up to questions, just a little gentle reminder. We sent out an email that because of the extra costs and the fact that we aren't at full capacity, we're asking for each, we need an extra $50 from each person for the trip. And you can cash, check, or credit card since it's not a huge amount. So just you could arrange for that. And I will be sending out an email tonight with Sandy's magazine. And she also has a wonderful guide that she has created for us that can be used not only for this trip, but for just it's a guide for the elements of art and design. So it's something that you'll want to put and save even after the trip in our notebook that we have for sale in the bookstore. And as you know, we also have the wonderful scarves that our dear Beth found for us. And Beth also put the notebooks together and made those look wonderful, and found these wonderful tote bags that we even have sold to people who aren't even involved with Art at Noon because they just love them so much. And there's a luggage tag on there that you can put on your suitcase. And it also has about the Philadelphia trip. So, but you can use it for anything. So, and as Sandy said, we only can do this because, and we want to thank everyone who is supporting us with their purchases. And if you're not able to get to us, as you all may know, we have a wonderful website and we can ship and send stuff to you, or even to, if you want to send a gift to someone out of town. We did that today for someone in Tallahassee. He wanted to send a prayer book that we had imprinted to his granddaughter in Miami. So there we go. So now we'll turn it over
I've got
to
one thing.
Sandy.
Angela, did
Yes,
you do your homework, Angela?
Wait,
yes.
Where's Patrick?
Angela, I want Angela to tell y'all about something, because some of you may be staying over and she has a special place there. And those of you, and I didn't know this, so Angela, take it, babe.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's see, I had to write it down. It's about a page.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm a member of an organization called the Union of Black Episcopalians. And that's why is that significant to our Philadelphia trip, is because every year in the church calendar, the Union of Black Episcopalians celebrates two particular feast days, one of them being the Absalom Jones feast day in February. And you may have been to some of those services where they had the gospel mass, or Rodney Hurst spoke, and then Catherine Meeks actually came one year. I don't know whether it was Absalom Jones or Martin Luther King, but it was tied to the Union of Black Episcopalians. And let's see, where am I?
Tell people who Absalom Jones was, Angela.
Yeah, that's going to be the part. I wrote it down because, I'm not a big speaker. But,
no, that's okay.
Yeah, Absalom Jones was actually the first Black priest
Right.
in the Episcopal Church.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think he may have been a deacon. Let's see, and it's important to me because I grew up in the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and I became an Episcopalian as an adult. And generally, these denominations celebrate together on that feast day. Because Absalom Jones was the Episcopalian and Richard Allen was the founder of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. And together they had formed the Free African Society in 1797 in Philadelphia, which was a mutual aid society. Although they separated to gravitate to different religions, Absalom Jones was the Episcopalian and Richard Allen founded the African Methodist Episcopal Church. And they remained close, serving the African-American community. And both churches are in Philadelphia. The AME Church, Mother Bethel AME Church, although it's 4 buildings later, but I think it's maybe in the same spot,
Right.
Richard Allen is buried there in the basement of it's called Mother Bethlehem Church. And the church where they both, I believe they both served at the African Episcopal Church of St. Thomas. And that's on Lancaster Avenue in Pennsylvania. And that's where Absalom Jones was.
Okay.
And they celebrated their 100th when I was at St. Michael. I remember that. And so hopefully I'll be able to put more information about that together and have it available for our book, maybe.
Send that to me and I'll weave it in, okay?
Okay, all right.
When
Yes,
you do,
and that's it.
I'll be glad to, especially the address. Okay, guys, questions?
I've got a question.
Julie's raised her hand.
Yep, I'm raising my hand. First thing, it's black powder. It's a gun. It's a type of gun, not power.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
we know.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we corrected it. Yeah.
Okay. The binders on the trip, do you recommend, I mean, I'm just thinking of luggage cases. Should we just bring the inside versus the whole binder with us?
You know what? That's a good question. I'm gonna have stuff to stuff in, and you're
Yeah.
gonna find stuff. Basically, what I would suggest, you know what you had, we had the little journals the last time, remember? They were great.
Mhm.
You know, to do, and I had looked for just some little kind of stuff because I want to take some notes as we go through.
Sure.
But there's going to be pockets, Julie. So if you took just like a 3-ring, you know, just like a notebook that has 3 rings on it, you know what I'm saying? 3 rings, yeah, yeah, you know, but a notebook that had, then you could take those pages out of that notebook and put them in that binder. I think that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, that's what I meant. I mean, so we take
Yeah.
the stuff that's in there. I was thinking of just doing like a clipboard and putting it on that versus the whole binder kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you
I
were thinking.
think it'd be easier. I think it'd be easier to write on.
Okay. The second thing, I know you said Uber, but are taxis going to be available through the hotel, things like that?
Yes, I
Okay.
think so. I think they will be.
Okay, that's all.
Okay,
Thank you.
good. All right, anybody else?
Yeah, I wanted to know if casual attire is appropriate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And take something warm.
Okay. Okay.
It is going to
thanks.
be
Not
chilly.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
We're not supposed to, I looked at the 10-day forecast and it's in the 50s in the evening and the 70s in the mornings, you know. So, I mean, but you know, that can change. So just pay close attention to it. You know,
Okay.
our blood is a little bit thinner, some of us, you know, in Florida. And when you get, I always would get off in Seattle thinking it was, you know, and freeze my, you know what, off because I thought I was still in Florida. I mean, I'm trying to get out of that mentality in New York too. Anybody else? Questions? Hey, Patrick. Hey, baby.
Beth Levitt has a question.
Okay.
She's
Beth.
unmute.
Unmute. Beth.
Unmute,
Hey,
Beth.
Catherine, the money the extra for us, it'll be $50 each or the $100. How
Correct.
do you want that sent to you? You don't have like a Venmo account or something like that where we can do it online?
I think we can actually do that.
You said credit card. You want me just to call you tomorrow and give you a credit card? and
I'm going to be out of town, but
Tomorrow.
Call the church and do
why
it.
don't you just mail us a check, Beth? Just mail us a check.
Okay, I may even come down and try to pick up a scarf and a notebook and
Well, we would love
some
that. That's
shopping to
even
do
better.
the bookstore. The next question is emails. You want both of our emails and both of our
Yes.
cell numbers?
Yes.
If there's 2 of you going, I want both emails. If you've got 2 phones, you know, with 2 different numbers, we want those as well.
Okay, you want me to send those to Catherine?
Correct.
Send it to Catherine and then we'll
Okay.
disperse it.
The
Absolutely.
third question, it's a plug for the bookstore. As the grandparents of 3 grandchildren out of 5 that have all gone through the Episcopal school, the cathedral school, we really, really, really just can't say enough wonderful things about the school, the program, the teachers, all of the workers over there. We are just we're blessed that our daughter chose to drive the distance because of the quality of the school. So we want to do all we can to support it. And with that, the next question, Catherine, is any books that we choose to order as a family, instead of going to our major bookstores or online bookstore, can any books be ordered through your bookstore?
Sure can.
Yes, even if we don't have it on the website, when you go on there and you search for a book that we don't have, it automatically directs you to our bookshop site, which is a way that you can buy any book and have it shipped directly to you.
Yeah, I think I did that with a book I just recently purchased, but I just wanted us to know that and to, again, share that with the group and get that reinforcement from you. So if I want to order a fictional book, I can do that. If I want to order
Anything.
You can order a business book.
Yeah.
Yep, anything.
Anything you
History
can order
book.
on Amazon, you can order on there, and they gift wrap.
And they gift wrap.
Yeah.
That's not,
But we also are gift wrapping now. Judy
How
Roscoe
often
did
for me,
a gift wrap today for the little granddaughter in Miami. Y'all, it was inspiring.
hey, one-stop shopping. I like it.
Right.
Okay, that's all of my
Absolutely.
questions.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. We're excited.
The
Beth
extra
Kerwin.
check. The extra check, who is that made payable to?
The same thing, St. John's Cathedral Bookstore.
Okay.
Anybody else? Questions? Okay. Patrick?
I had
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
last, just
Yeah.
Sandy, Catherine, thank you for putting all this together. I did attend, you may not have seen my face, but I was on all the Zoom calls. This was a tremendous education for me preparing for this. I really sincerely thank you all for putting this together.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, we are a fun group, okay? We are Episcopalian. That's the reason I'm Episcopalian, one of the reasons. My best friend, who is Presbyterian, walked into the bookstore and at one of our events, and she says, and now I know why you changed face. I said, why? She says, because we had a cooler, we had wine in it. And she says, do you, she says, I think I might want to be Episcopalian too. I said, hey, yeah, this is the place to come. So anyway, we've tried our best, gals and guys, to make those days work for everybody, okay? In a way that a lot of us, we're getting older and the walking and everything. And Catherine and I both thought about that. Plus we're spread out. We've done everything we can, both of us, to ensure that you have a good trip. Now it's up to you. I always say, if people want to be happy, if they want to be happy, and they want to be sad, if they want to be sad. Okay. And we can't make you have a good time, but we're there to have a good time with you. And we know how to go down. Catherine and I and Beth know how to have a good time. Both Beths. So anyway,
Fabulous. Thank you both.
what we're going to do tonight to send that out, you will get, now this is just going to be the magazine overview, okay? So don't look for specific times yet. And the reason that we're doing that and not giving it to you, like I said, but some of you may have missed that from the beginning. The reason we're doing it because some things may change. We just don't, like I said, we had no control over the extra 50 because of all of the stuff that came in with what we knew was going to make it comfortable for everybody. Because we have a 4-day, 3-night deal, and to be able to get and do the things that we wanted, we had to have the transportation to do it. We just had to. So and not wait. So I cannot tell you that this is. I will tell you. I can tell you this was a labor of love. And if you love art, and if you love your country, and if you love learning about the spirituality and about these things, you are going to be so filled. It's not even funny with what you get. You really, truly are. And if you like good food, Hopefully we pick places where there's going to be some good food and a little bit of retail too. Okay, having said that, then we're going to see you, the next time we see you is next Tuesday at the Plow and Stars, okay? In
At
Philadelphia.
7.
At 7 o'clock. Okay. That's 7 o'clock, Plow and Stars, okay?
Okay.
Thank you guys. Happy trails.
Thanks so much.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
everything.
Appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
Putting this together. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.